to thank you for coming out today. I know the weather's been all over the place and we appreciate you being here. I also want to thank the Scouts for putting on the barbecue and the hot coffee and giving us this hall.
It's nice dry hall.
It's nice dry hall. I want to thank Nikki Reckman for providing the rental canoes for us. So I work for Watch Salmon Society. We're a non-profit charity that advocates for salmon and salmon habitat, protection of salmon habitat. We got involved with the Camp Hope Slough through our Connected Waters campaign, which we've mapped 156 floodgates and pump stations, flood control infrastructure that blocks access to about 1,500 kilometers of salmon habitat. So this is one of our featured waterways. The other waterway we feature is the Catesy Slough in Pitt Meadows. So we've been advocating for any upgrades to the infrastructure on the Hope Slough to be fish friendly. And I'll pass it over to Drew to talk more about that.
Sure, and I just want to say, first off, a little acknowledgement to the Slough peoples whose unceded territory this is, particularly the Shem, the Kalal, the Squala, Sway, Squaw. I'm certain there's Kwakwekan, and I'm pretty sure there's one or two that I missed in there, but these sloughs are waterways that flow through their territory and historically were sources of food and transportation and an important part of their territory. So as we paddle today through these things, it's good to think about that. And so to talk up a little bit about the slough in particular, the one that we paddled today, up until the 1980s was popular for swimming in. And I don't know that anybody would want to swim in it today, but kind of that's our goal in the future, is to get it back to a state where it's salmon habitat, where there's salmon spawning in it and where we can swim in it and where people can fish and catch fish and eat the fish without being worried about what's in those fish. So our sloughs are back channels of the Fraser River. The Fraser used to flow here, it flows over there now, but we've built flood infrastructure to protect our homes, and as a result of that we've cut off some of the sources of the water that come into those sloughs. Then they've been affected by things like invasive species. When we paddle down the slough, even when you look at the side, when you see what's on the banks, it's mostly reed canary grass and yellow flag iris and blackberries, all of which are invasive species that we introduce that are crowding out native species and also that grow in great profusion and then die. And when they die in the summer, they decay in the water and they use up so much oxygen in doing so that the fish don't have enough to breathe. So late on in the summer, you might see the slough is full of algae, it's not very clean looking, and it's got problems with fish, and that's why. The other problem is there's a lot of us, and we've developed a lot of the area of the watershed that flows into these sloughs, and as a result now, because we've developed it, there's more water coming in faster than there used to be when this was all forest and grasslands. And it doesn't have the connection to the Fraser to flush out some of the things we've introduced. So the slough's in trouble a little bit. And hopefully Mike, who's a biologist, can talk a little bit more about some of the biological problems with it. And tell you what some of those fish are. I know they're fish, that's about it.
I mean, the first thing I'd like to say is that there's certainly lots of problems and lots of issues with the slough, but the glass is definitely half full. There's still salmon. There's a small number of Chinook spawning right where we watched today at Lee's Road. There are most of the coho go up Elk Creek, but they'll come right up through Hope Slough. So there's still lots of fish and lots of dives in there. We didn't catch a lot today. We got most of the sticklebacks and some red-side shiners. The sticklebacks that we caught were pretty interesting, and they're the most common fish in the Fraser Valley, and most of you have probably seen them. But these ones, you might notice, look a little different. They're longer and sleeker than the ones that we usually find. These ones, believe it or not, are ocean fish. They like the salmon. They have just now swum up the Fraser River all the way to Chilliwack to spawn. So we find them a few every year at this time. But this year seems to be an exceptional run. There's Chris has said some video on YouTube showing just millions of them coming up. So I don't know why that is. It's just like any population in nature, there's a boom years and bust year, and this is a boom stickleback year, for whatever reason. So the water quality in the slough, as Drew mentioned, is a big problem. And we had a fish kill that some of you may have seen a couple of years ago, was in the news, down at this end. The better water quality is in the tributaries coming off the mountain, Elk Creek and Dunville Creek. And so the further upstream towards Dunville Creek you get, the better the water quality and the more likely you are to find salmon in the summertime. Beyond that, beyond Dunville Creek, there's not really any fresh water coming in, and there's serious water quality problems up there. But there's certainly, I guess my message would be that there's lots of value left there. There's still salmon, still trout in this slough. So really, it's not something to think of writing off. It's something to think of restoring, and that's what we're hoping will happen in the next number of years.
Thank you. And I think Mike just made one really good point, which is that the way these watersheds are all connected, right from the top of Elk Mountain, Elk Creek flows down, comes across under the highway into the slough, flows out to the Fraser, and on out to the Salish Sea. So some of the little Chinook and coho that spawn in here, then go out to the ocean where they get eaten by southern red-footed killer whales that are in danger or caught by people, and those are dependent on the water source and the water quality in the slough and all the way up to the mountaintop. So it's all one watershed.
You might want to talk a bit too about the groundwater and the connections.
Yeah, so when we paddled down today, or for those of you who didn't paddle but just know the area, we came past,
Camp River?
Yeah, the Camp Slough, and it's the next main tributary north of Hope Slough, but it doesn't have, none of these streams flow off the mountain into it, so it's just picking up the groundwater, and we're on an old bar of the Fraser River that's covered in silt all the way out here, and so that water in the Fraser River is still, some of it's flowing in the channel, but some of it's flowing through the ground, and where it comes to a low point, like the old channel, which is the slough, it flows out and gets picked up and flowed through. We can't paddle down the Camp Slough like we can on the Hope Slough so easily because there's a lot more obstructions. There's people's driveways that go across it, and there's roads that go across it, and every one of those crossings has a couple of little culverts where on Hope River they've got big bridges. And so that's an issue that's been identified, and it's an issue that the city is working on. They're working to improve the infrastructure, get more flow through, and there's also been a study done a couple of years ago about looking at restoration at the top end, trying to get more water to come from the Fraser River over the dike or through the dike, either by pumping or through flow augmentation of some sort, to get more flow in there to keep it better so that it doesn't silt up so much. And that's ongoing. They did actually a little bit of cleaning of part of the slough last year where they took out some of the mud that the invasive species trap, opened it up, gravel, and it's seeing a little bit faster flow this year, which might help keep it open, so that's good news.
I also just forgot to thank Mount Waddington for providing the shuttle for us to get to our launch site. And the city of Chilliwack for providing some funding for this event.
A neighborhood grant to help with, and all that money is going to the scouts for putting on these barbecues. So yeah, especially thank the scouts. It was really nice to have. Thank you very much.